checked up this morning and it's actually day 13. So welcome to day 13 for an old man on the Pennine Way again. It's a very easy day today. I'm only going from Middleton in Teesdale to Langdon Beck Youth Hostel. I could just about have made it to Dufton, but we've got plenty of time, so I don't have to worry. And I'm meeting somebody at Beck above High Cup Nick tomorrow lunchtime. So only 4 or 5 hours at the most, I think, here. One of the things I said I'd try and do during the walk was think of all the things that we have now that we didn't have in '67, and the most obvious thing is mobile phones. Now, because I'm a curmudgeonly old fool, very few people ring me up, but having a smartphone means you have lots of things now that we didn't have though then. So there's no GPS then, for a start, and if you look at the I'm just coming to a stile. I'll get over and start again. So yeah, I'm not particularly bothered about phone calls anyway, but if you listen to the YouTube videos, you'll often hear people say it's going to be fine for the first half of the day, and after that it's going downhill a bit. Without a mobile phone or a smartphone, you have no idea what the weather's going to be. So for 14 days the weather was just what you got. Didn't make any difference anyway, because we were backpacking, so you just took it and lived with it. But it's quite different being able to plan your day knowing what the weather is and not knowing. And talking about weather, I have to say, in '67 the weather forecasts were under patch on what they are now. People have got used to having reasonably accurate forecasts, but in those days quite often it was wrong anyway. Sorry, Met Office, you were doing your best. Okay, I'm just going along the Tees here, and so I'll put this away and get going. Walking through another one of these gorgeous meadows. Buttercups, clover. Doesn't look very different to Hannah's Field to me, but I'm not really up on these things. But I have been a lot of fields full of buttercups. They wait until all the flowers have seeded before they mow the hay, and then the seeds that fall regenerate for next year. I've been going about an hour, walking quite high above the Tees. And I've just come down to Tees level, and this is the first bit of path I've recognised from 50 odd years ago. If you'd have asked me, I'd have described this whole path as at river level all the way. Probably memory failing now. This is Seabury Bridge. You don't go across it. I'm going back up there, but it seemed quite photogenic, so I came down to take a photo of it. And it's back up to the top here and carry on along the river. Warming up. I don't think we're at low force yet, but there happens to be a bridge across here that you can take a decent photograph from. I think low force is round the corner somewhere. Well, there's not very much water, but it still looks quite impressive. And I think Roz is going to come across that bridge I've just been on. Doing some nature walk. In 1967, Ian and I went swimming here in a small pool off the main channel. In those days there were no signs warning you off it like there are nowadays. In fact, many towns on rivers had their own designated bathing areas. I couldn't find the pool that we bathed in, but Roz managed to. If you compare the stones, you can see it's the same pool, although the water was so low this year that it wasn't actually flowing like it was in those days. The Rams. I expected to be able to tell you who it was owned by, but there's no plaque telling me. I know it's in the guidebook. So that's low force. It's the same sill, I think, that Hadrian's Wall's built on 50 miles north of here. Quite columnar in structure. We're here at high force now. Not a lot of water running over it, but it's still very impressive. So that's running over Wind Sill, which is the same sill that Hadrian's Wall was built on. So high force and low force are a bit of a honeypot really for this area, but I'm only a quarter of a mile upstream, and look at the gorgeous river there, and hardly anybody here. So I'm just round the corner from the previous bit. That's the start of Upper Teesdale, and look at that monstrosity. They're obviously quarrying the windsill, probably for road or rail ballast. I'm just trying to work my way around to the Langdon Beck Youth Hostel Road alongside the Tees here. It's not really far to go. So tomorrow we're heading up straight behind me there into Teesdale, Upper Teesdale, but I'm heading off up to the road up here somewhere. So I'll call it a day there. That's day 13 for an old man on the Pennine Way again. Thanks very much for watching, and see you again. Bye.